Hi everyone, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Jo.
And welcome to
Portal to the Paranormal.
And you're watching
Thriller Podcast.
This evening we are focusing on paranormal teams around the UK.
So we want to know all about the history of paranormal activity in locations in your cities, towns and villages.
So let's welcome, without further ado, South West Yorkshire Paranormal Team. We'll just bring them straight on.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Greetings.
Oh, it's lovely to meet you.
And you.
Thank you. I would like you, Southwest Paranormal Yorkshire Team. Would you like to introduce yourself so everybody knows who you are?
I'm Kelly. I'm Derek's daughter. I'm Sharon. I'm the empath.
And I'm Derek. I'm the team boss and psychic medium.
And I'm Chris, lead investigator.
And I'm his wife and I'm in background.
Yep. And I'm Brian, empath medium and paranormal researcher.
Wow. Oh, we're so excited to have you. And we want to know all about what you got going up there in Yorkshire. I mean, as you know, we're from the south. We're Southampton and Portsmouth area. Do you guys run do you run your own teams? Like, do you bring members of the public with you? Do you run events, or do you just go out and do it?
Bit of both. So we've just started doing events. We've got one coming up next Saturday, which is in Skegness, where we are now. We also do haunted locations throughout Yorkshire, Lincolnshire, anywhere where we can go. We have been known to travel 3.5 hours, 4 hours to go to a location. So we're not just sort of based within the Yorkshire area. We cover a wide variety of areas. Me personally, I like Lincolnshire because there's a lot more history in Lincolnshire than Yorkshire. But Yorkshire's got some good places as well.
What is your favourite location?
Favourite location? We were talking about this early on, and we did a location back a month back, and it was a old abandoned railway station house. But this has also appeared on TV, so it's got poltergeist activity. And we went there, and to say as a team, we got scared of what we saw and what happened, made the night really, really good. And I think so far that is probably one of the best locations we've done.
So how long have you guys been a team together then?
Me and my wife and Kelly have been doing this for, blimey.
Last 7, 8
7, 8 years, Brian, I think, isn't it?
About that, because you guys were still pretty young when I joined. That was about five years ago or 6 years ago. So I still feel blessed.
Yeah, so we've been doing it as a team quite some time. The team we've got now, which is Sharon and Chris, they're reasonably new to this team. They've only been with us for the last 5 months.
5 months.
5 months they've been with us.
And they're doing a spot on job.
But they are doing quite well. And the team I've got around me now, my admins and the main team, is actually quite good. We actually work well as a team.
So for you guys to get scared is quite unusual, I'm guessing.
Say again, sorry.
Is you guys getting scared is quite unusual.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have did you say an empath or a psychic medium in the group?
Yeah, I'm also a psychic medium. I have been since the age of 5. So I've done my work for quite a long time. So I do private readings and normal psychic readings, and also the ghost running side of things, which I enjoy as well. And Brian, being our empath medium, he's also on his page every night we go out. So Brian's picking up things, working alongside me and other mediums that also work on the page with us.
Do you record any of your evidence on your phone or on camera?
There's a lot of stuff on his Facebook pages. We're not really moving to YouTube just yet. We have got a YouTube channel. We have got a TikTok one. But mainly his Facebook page is going so well, we're just leaving it on there. So all his videos are on there. You can scroll through every single video and live event and ghost stuff that we've done over the last whatever number of years.
So what kind of locations are around your area? I mean, I think I've been Googling a few. I'll read a few out if that's okay. You wanted to ask about...
So my mum's mum, unfortunately, I didn't meet her. She passed away well before I was even thought about. She was from Ripon. So
Yep.
I'm quite interested to know what's around that sort of area.
Ripon. There's quite a lot of old abbeys around Ripon that we've done. Gervais Abbey, that's what right, Gervais Abbey is fantastic. That's top side of Ripon. That is heavily active, very, very active in fact in places. There's a lot of old buildings around Ripon as well. Ripon town centre itself has got a lot of history to walk around it. You've got Jewish temple, that's just outside Ripon area. There's a lot of things that are around that way that we've been to in the past. Personally, I like the abbeys and that sort of thing that's up there because the abbey's a fantastic place to be in.
My area that I've been to is Yorkshire, is Driftfield, and near there is the Eden Camp.
Yeah,
have you heard of that one?
I've not done Eden Camp. I know people. Yeah, it's a museum now. I know people that has been there. My favourite location up there is RAF Driftfield, which up until maybe recently you could walk straight into, but it's getting pulled down for an housing estate now, which is going the same way as many RAF bases are.
No.
A lot of people that know me will actually tell you one of my favourite locations of all times is RAF bases. I like the history. I like going into places that have got history where you're guaranteed to sort of pick things up or things happen. So we've been to quite a few RAF bases over the years. Bunkers. I like going underground. Show me a bunker and I'm gone. I'm like a rabbit. I just go down a hole and I'm gone. Bunkers I love.
Oh yeah.
The RAF bases are one of my favourite locations. I love RAF bases.
He'd like Daedalus, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and there's an RAF airfield in Chichester,
Right.
near us. My dad's side of the family lived around there. My granddad was based there at one point. And because most of my family don't believe in this sort of stuff. And I can remember saying to my grandma, oh, have you ever seen anything down there? And she's like, she's always been, don't be silly, Joe, until one day she sat there and she swears down she used to see somebody cycling along the airfield, but there was never, ever anybody there.
Oh.
Right.
So that would be a good one to get to one day.
We've got one where we are now, because you said we're currently down in Skegness. If I was at home, I could show you a lot of things because I get given and get sent, and I get a lot of haunted objects sent to me. I also own a lot of things that are haunted, so I've got a lot of haunted dolls and haunted uniforms and you name it. I've got a lot of haunted stuff. But unfortunately, I'm not at home, so I can't show you. But one of our places we're going tonight is not tonight, Monday. We're going to an RAF base that is where we are, and it's been taken over by a woodland. But people that live locally have seen things in the wood. Dogs have been scared. People have been scared by what has been in that wood. So should be a good night.
Have you ever been to the Skegness Hell House Paranormal Activity? It was on Paranormal. Yeah. Oh God, go on, do tell. I'm dying. I chat with her as well. She's really interesting.
I wasn't really impressed with it. We didn't. I think it's been hyped. Yeah, it's been hyped up a little bit too much. Yeah, it's a bit like that East Drive over at Pontefract, that one, isn't it? I think it's been overdone and hyped up a lot. I know the TV crews have been there. That Nick Groff off Ghost Adventures, when he went off on his own, he went after we'd been with our previous team. And he got a lot of evidence, but it's a bit like that. What a lot of it done for entertainment value or what it genuine evidence, we don't know. Because when we were there, we got the odd
thing, didn't we?
Yeah, we got the odd noises, knocks. There were pictures taken where you got faces, but that was about it. Whether it's changed now, I don't know, because that was some time ago now.
I lived in Magic Mablethorpe for 7 years. You heard of it? It's Lincolnshire.
Yeah,
And,
Yeah, Mablethorpe, yeah.
and my stomping ground was in Skegness, and I always wondered if there was any sort of paranormal places around there. Is there anywhere in Skeggy that's
yes,
Loads.
yes. There's quite a lot actually. We moved our caravan from Mablethorpe to Skegness, where we are now. There's a few places around Skegness, around Mablethorpe. So you've got the Devil's Church at Mablethorpe.
really?
That's St Boltops. It's a fantastic location. You've also got a care home that we've been told that is empty. We've not tried it yet, but we've been told it's empty, so that's going to be on his hit list at some point. You've got RAF Manby, which is not far from Mablethorpe. That's another good location for a ghost hunt. Here at Skeggy, you've got quite a lot of places around that we didn't know about. So where we are now in Skegness, about 2 minutes walk away, we've got an abandoned factory, abandoned mill. That's where we're going tonight. It's heavily haunted and it's a really good location. And that's just 2 minutes away from where we are now. Also, we've come across a castle, which is about 20 minutes drive away from here.
About 20 minutes, yeah.
And that was the birthplace of
This is going to test you now, isn't it?
well, Henry the
Fourth.
Fourth. Henry the Fourth was born at this castle, and that's open 24 hours a day. You can walk straight into it, and that's not far from here. You've got World War II gun batteries. You've got other bits from the army, but from the Air Force or the army, that is based around Skegness. So there's a lot of things actually in Skegness that you'd be surprised about.
There's that tower and all in fields, in farmers' fields.
There's also a tower which dates back to the time of the Knights Templar.
I'm thinking we need to sister it, don't we? You guys come down and see what we got, and then we go up there and you see what you got.
There's quite a lot. Seriously, I was surprised because we've done a lot down Mablethorpe and not a lot down Skegness. I said we moved to Skegness, and there's quite a lot of things that we found that around this area.
What about York? York's old country. Isn't it?
York's okay for ghost walking because you can walk around York more than green places. So as a ghost walk, York is the best place to go to because York itself has got so much history and so many hauntings. Just walking around the place is a must.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's the history of the place, isn't it? And
Yeah.
The art.
What we don't like as a team is we can go to a place and it's got mega amounts of history and you think, oh yeah, that's quite nice. Like we did one in Preston and it was an old hospital, St Joseph's at Preston. Fantastic place, good architect, mega history, like you wouldn't believe. But it's been set on fire by kids. They think it's kids, but 2 buildings caught fire at the same time, the same night in Preston, both abandoned. So we don't know what happened, but it's been destroyed now and pulled down. This is what's going is, I don't know, same as Air Force bases, but taking them over as housing estates and destroying them. And it really gets on my nerve. Why can't we just leave them as they are? Because once that name of that Air Force base is gone, that's it. Its history dies with it.
It's listed buildings as well. If it's not a listed building, they don't care, do they?
No, exactly.
They've done that to the place where the airfield is, haven't they? Where we went.
Oh, Daedalus. Yeah,
Daedalus,
they're going to just make apartments out of it or housing.
I mean, many times we've been out and we've had police come out to us because we've been in a building. And every time police have come out to us, they've sort of stayed and watched and got involved with ghost hunting and then gone home and left us there.
We've done that when...
You know what I mean? So it's like, you just got to be careful. We try and treat people as we would be treated by them. So we treat them with respect. We expect it back from the police, and that's how it works.
When it was lockdown, there was a couple of us that went out. We kept within the rules, but we were outside.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of police that turned up and they were like, what are you doing out? Blah, blah, blah. So we were explaining what we were doing and they looked at us like we were batshit crazy. And we were like,
yeah, we've had
that.
We've had that. We went to a location in Mablethorpe, just outside Mablethorpe. an old ship to shore radio station, and we'd been in there all night, and we were coming out, and the police came, and we were still alive at the time, and they were coming out, and what are you doing? Oh, we're a paranormal team. Oh, really? Have you caught all? Oh, yeah, we've caught quite a bit. That wife turned around to the police and said, oh, by the way, he was a medium. Oh, is he? I ended up, which is no lie, I ended up giving 2 police officers in the middle of this abandoned place 2 psychic readings.
That's how it's done.
Brilliant.
I was going to ask you. There's a hotel in Whitby called I think it's called the Bagdown Hotel. But have you ever been to Whitby or a hotel haunted there?
No. We go to churchyard up top at 99 steps up by the Abbey. The churchyard is one of the most haunted places in Whitby. I know it's a churchyard. I know people might say, "No, okay, but churchyard, you shouldn't be really in churchyards." Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, but dead should stay where they are. But this churchyard is actually being used for. There's a grave in there, which is Dracula's grave. It's from the set when they filmed Dracula in Whitby. It's the proper grave that's in the churchyard, and it's still there. But the churchyard itself is heavily haunted.
Well, when I went there, the guy said that it's the first place that nuns and priests actually lived together, and the one place that Henry VIII that was on the murder when he changed his religion, he didn't get to him. Yeah. Yeah,
Whitby's. I like Whitby. It's a really nice place to go. That Whitby, I do like it.
You've ever been for the Gothic week in Easter and Halloween?
No. But I know people have and sent me photos, and it looks quite good. But no, I've never been myself.
Good fun. Yeah,
we keep talking about going.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
We will have to do it one day.
What about the Paranormal Research Centre in Hinckley? That's in Lincolnshire, isn't it? I think. Or
Hinckley's in Leicestershire.
Leicestershire.
Yeah. No, I've never done that one.
That's quite interesting.
It is really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
We had a sleepover there, and it's quite reasonably priced as well. If you speak to old, what's his name, Neil Packer,
right.
he'll do a deal for you, and you can kip over. So if you're travelling over.
Talking about locations in Skegness, our location in Skegness next Saturday is Village Church Farm in Skegness, and it's a museum, but it's a really haunted location, and we're there from 7:30 to 2:00 next Saturday night, and it is really haunted. We've been there before. It's a fantastic location. It really is good. It's worth the money what it costs to go there. It really is good.
Is it an old farm? Is it?
No, it's like a museum. They've had stuff donated to them and stuff moved. So there was a roundhouse that came from about 5 miles outside Skegness, and it moved, but it brought something with it. There's also a museum for the war stuff. There was medals and uniforms and hats, and it's been donated. And there's other farming stuff in there, other bits in there. It's all different stuff, but it's active to high. It's properly active.
Right, I want to go through every single one of you and ask you, what is your most scariest situation you've ever been in? Have you ever seen a ghost?
I'm going
to tell us your experience. Come on, sit back down, Kelly. You're the first. Kelly, tell us your most terrifying experience as a paranormal investigator.
Right, my first ever encounter was up at Newcastle, wasn't it?
Yeah, Newcastle.
We went to an /Air Force base, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With different planes, trams, God knows what were there, basically, all sorts. Next minute, we've got into this place where these trams was, and there were 2 little kids what passed away from this tram accident from Blackpool. And they've come to this place where we were doing this event with a team who got hosted by Chris Conway, wasn't it?
Yeah, I met Chris.
From Most Haunted, I don't know if you know him. And next minute, I had my back to these tram windows. There were only me, my dad, and my mum. And my dad was throwing pebbles. You could hear him running round. Next minute, my dad turned around and said, "Can you make a loud bang? Can you throw something to scare us?" Well, anyways, my head went from that to that, and I ran.
the band on the tram window straight behind her, and the glass actually shook, and her head come forward about 6, 7, 8 inches and bounced back, and she run out of that building scared out of her wits.
Oh dear.
So that was my first encounter.
Excuse me, doggy. He wants to come on live and join us.
Oh, I don't mind. He's super cute. He is really cute. We'll ask him what his paranormal experiences is in a minute. I'm not with names, so you're
Sharon.
Sharon, go on, Sharon, spill the beans.
My first one with Swift was
Was it the best one?
No, my best one, I'd say the one that Des was talking about earlier on, the Poltergeist house. The station, that was just phenomenal. Yeah, phenomenal. It was absolutely amazing place, and just everything about it was brilliant. And that the evidence that we got, the things were moving, and the sounds and stuff, and it was quite funny to see us actually all scared and that we do the paranormal all the time.
Yeah, me and you won it.
Yeah. And that, so I'd say that's probably my best one.
Looks like the dog wants to give you a hug for that one, Lex.
There you go.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, Derek, you sharing?
I've got so many that I've done over the years. There's so many places. I get asked this question quite a lot, and I can pin down my favourite ones, but the best ones, it's so hard to pin down when you've done so many.
My favourite's Tutwick Castle.
Yeah, you've done so many locations over the years, and you've had so much evidence at every location, and it's a hard thing for me to pin down and say, yeah, well, that will be best, because when I go somewhere else the following week and it'll outdo something that I've already done, and you think, well, okay, and then week after something else comes along and happens, and you think, okay, that's a good one. And there's just so many places that
I don't think we've had a bad one
that
yet.
I've been to over the years, but I can't just pinpoint one particular place to say, yeah, that's my best. But every location I've done hasn't disappointed me one bit. They've all been reasonably active in a certain way. So it's going to have to be them all, because I just can't pick one out. I can't say that one or this one. Was just so many.
Oh, you not had nothing sat on the end of your bed then and looking at you, or
event wise, we went down to one.
No, sat on your bottom of your bed.
I did a physical one sitting.
I've had all sorts. I've had stuff. I can be out and I get family that come to me. I'm probably a rarity because family do actually speak to me now and again. The reading side of things, the best one I've ever done, and I will say this, and I've said it 100% every single time. The best reading I ever did for somebody was, somebody came on my live. Brian might remember this. Somebody came on my live one day, and we got talking, and I says, "Is somebody around you pregnant?" And she went, "Yeah." I says, "Very, very, as in about to drop a baby." She went, "Well, yeah." Why? I said, I'm getting pains in I was actually getting pregnancy pains in my stomach. I was feeling a baby coming out of me, right? And I said to her, I said, "This baby's going to come sooner rather than later. It's going to come early." "Oh, she's been given a date." I said, "No," I said, "It'll come early." She texted me a day afterward and said baby had been born that night.
wow, that's awesome.
And that one will always stand out because I had the feelings of that baby being born.
That's brilliant.
I mean, Brian could remember that. We've done quite a lot of readings, me and Brian, over the past. Another one that stands out for reading side of things, we do a special end of month every month where we do a psychic read, just a psychic one, nothing else. And I was talking about somebody that had been killed, and I knew it was somewhere abroad, didn't know where. I'm describing this person, how they looked and how they died. And this woman jumped on from America. She only just flicking through and came across us. And I was talking about her friend that got killed about 4 weeks previously.
Jeez. Wow.
And she only jumped on the page to have a look, and I'm talking about her friend that got killed.
Coincidence.
Wow. Right. What about the bearded guy next to you? Sorry, you want to? Christopher.
Yeah.
Christopher.
I'm like Derek. I've had a lot over the years I've been doing this game. But the one that stands out for me is when I first joined SWIFT, and it was an old mental asylum. Preston.
That would be
Ridgely.
Yeah, Ridgely
Lancashire.
in Lancashire. Massive old place, and we was in one section of the place, and just down the corridor was where they had the not padded cells, but secure rooms where they couldn't hurt themselves, and we heard voices coming from down that way. So we shut all his lights off, stopped all of his equipment, and you could hear like a metal bar being scraped down the corridor, as though they were just walking up and down the corridor, just scraping the metal bar behind them.
Growling,
they were growling, full-blown conversations, but there were nobody there. So that's the one that really got me, because that's probably the best experience I've had up to press.
Wow.
Because that place is just, as soon as you walk into it, it just takes over you, doesn't it? It's just an immense place.
Yeah. Can I also say we were at a location not long back at an old Victorian hospital, and we got a REM pod by the door, and we got lights outside the door, and the REM pod would go off, then the light outside the door in the corridor would flash, that would stop, then the REM pod back at the door would come on again, and there was a cold draft that went through both me and Sharon. That happened about 4 or 5 times.
That were a thingy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So as you were walking out, the REM pod's going off, playing with light out in the corridor, that went off, REM pod back on again and back into the room again. And it was like that for 4 times going in and out.
Jeez. It was walking backwards and forwards then, obviously.
Yeah.
Always
Exactly.
nice when you get something like that happening,
I think
isn't
the
it?
picture on mine of
Yeah,
Jez's face
yeah, exactly. It
was
was
a picture.
Yeah, that was quite good. It was quite a good place out. Yeah.
Right, Brian, you're being a bit quiet, Brian.
Yeah, I'm listening. And
Are
then
you going to tell us your paranormal experiences or a little bit about yourself? It would be great.
okay, well, first of all, I just want to say that I feel blessed that I joined this group when I did, and that. But the one area that I feel spiritually drawn to, and that is working with spirit children, and I've helped quite a few children cross over to the higher side of life because they were looking for their siblings or their parents or whatever. But there's one investigation that we did not that long ago where I actually reunited the mother and the child together because they were segregated, and that they were finally met together after such a long period of time. And my guide, not giving him credit, and that helped them to move on, cross over, and that. But one thing I do during the week, and that, like on Wednesdays and Fridays, I do live streams, and the topic is anything spiritual, paranormal, or mediumship, and I love with a heart of sincerity, I love teaching, and I love instructing and encouraging, others like lovely Sharon and whoever else needs some instructions and that. So for me, it's a constant learning and that. But I've been in that. I've been in empath medium all my life, and that I've only ever been really using this gift over the past, say, 15 or 20 years, and that. But I don't know that the more I do it, the more joy I get, and the connection to spirit is so beautiful, and I got a fantastic guide who's, believe it or not, related to our family, and he's actually my wife's father, and who passed before I met her.
Oh, wow.
And I told my wife stuff about her father that only she knew.
Wow.
So it was quite special for me, and that, but using my gift and my abilities, to help the team, to help others, and that I never, ever, ever give myself credit, never, because I don't deserve it.
Yeah,
My
of course
client
you
has
do.
to.
Yeah, you're helping people. Whereabouts in Canada are you?
I'm in Mississauga, Ontario.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's see where that is.
Yep. Across the pond.
Across the pond. Is there many places to ghost hunt out there?
Actually, yeah, right here in Mississauga, actually,
Sorry.
We got one our dog up here doing the same thing.
yeah. See, actually, the area that I live in, it's called Southern Ontario. Well, a couple of hundred years ago, it used to be called Mississaugas because that was the name of an Indian tribe.
Yeah.
And so the name of the section of Ontario, okay, well, they named my city after that. And so I feel blessed to live in the city and that. But we have many places here in the city that are very haunted. Like I've been there myself. And, it's like there's a lot of people out here that they're very skeptical about spiritual stuff, paranormal or whatever. And I figure, well, if they don't believe in it, that's fine. But for those who do believe in it, I said, if you want me to tell you more, and that, I'm an open book, and that. So, but there's one place I have to admit, my very first haunted place was Castle Loma in Toronto, Ontario.
Oh, that's weird.
And this place isn't that old either. It's built. I think it was built in 19. What year was it built, Dad? 1914. Thank you. And so it's relatively new. Like nothing like the UK. UK's history is.
You got about 200 years, haven't you? We got thousands on you.
Oh, I know. I'm actually jealous. But the history of Canada, and going before we arrived, goes back 13,000 years.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, you got all the American Indians and the Civil War and everything going on, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, bless them and that. So, yeah, so that's my story in a nutshell.
Do you ever go shopping or just be out and about, and then your psyche kicks in and you see someone?
Oh, God.
I've got to tell you something.
I can't go into a store that's busy because my head starts to spin. And then plus I'm constantly picking up on other people's frustrations, their anxiety, sometimes their anger. And my wife always says to me, Brian, you're looking kind of ticked off. Why is that? I said, because the lady over there is very annoyed about something. She said, you're not mad at me, are you? No. So I've had to learn to guard, to shield myself so I don't take on so much.
Yeah.
But that's something I'm still learning in that. But I'm amazing, though. My spirit guide is amazing.
No. Yeah, a lot of psychic mediums do have spirit guides, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
we
usually ask
all that is really, and that. Sorry to interrupt. Is like we all have angels, guardian angels, and stuff like that, and that we're all designated, and that a guardian angel or spirit guide to take us through this life, to help guide us. So yeah, we're all designated one.
Yeah.
You two have one.
No.
As a matter of fact, I don't know whose guy it is right now, but I can actually hear them softly giggle. It sounds like a woman.
A woman giggling.
I hear a woman giggling behind you two.
Oh gosh!
but it's a joyful kind of giggle. Those two.
I'm not going to sleep tonight.
It's a lovely energy.
Anyone particular it's connected to by any chance? Please say Joe. Please say Joe.
Okay. I've got a few people coming forward, but my guy's asking them, okay, who do you want to talk to? And they're saying, and then these people are actually all talking at the same time. They're wanting to get their word in. And so unfortunately, I can't really get anything straight.
That's okay. We'll leave it at that. I got to sleep here.
One is definitely I think you term it as a grandmother. And that when she passed out, she was kind of not really heavy set built, white hair with a bun. The hair, the dress, it looks like it almost looks like floral, but the flowers are small. And that it had old-fashioned glasses.
Really
So I'm
bad
not sure who that'd be linked to.
I know my mum's mum was heavy set, but I don't know much more
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. And she was very fussy about her shoes.
You might have
Very
to.
fussy.
Mum's mum was.
Yeah.
But she was very fussy
Very
about
fussy
a
about
lot
her
of things.
shoes.
Oh.
Sounds like my wife.
Oh, that's kind of you, Brian. We didn't ask for a reading, but you did. That's really sweet.
And when spirit comes through, I'm just open.
Oh, well,
Bless both of you.
Oh, thank you. Is it the same for you, Derek? How does yours? Have you got a spirit guide?
I've got a spirit guide. Yeah, I've got a Swingian, but I had with me and my guide. It's going to sound strange, but I had it done with my guide. I had it checked out by another medium that I used to know some time ago, and my guide and me have always been father and son throughout the generations. So it's like when I die, I become the guide, and my guide becomes a psychic, and vice versa. So that's the way that me and my guide works, and I can trust my guide with my life when I'm out there. I know that I'm going to be safe, whatever I'm doing or wherever I am. I know I can be safe, and I know I'm getting took care of by somebody that's keeping the beady eye on me. So I've got to be careful as well on what I'm doing. It's not a nice thing when you get ignored or get shouted at by somebody that nobody else can see for doing something wrong. But then also I've got to listen to what he tells me to do what he's got planned for my life and the way I'm going. So over the past, well, since lockdown, myself and Steph and Kelly,
excuse me, you mean me and you?
We have made a documentary. We have made a film. That film is now going round the red carpets around the UK. There's also some film industry people that have been watching it and sort of showing interest with what's been shown on that. So there's a bit of media in my readings, there's a bit of ghost hunting, there's a bit of general chit chat where he's talking about his life, and we're right into it. So what's going to come of that, I don't know. We'll wait and see. But yeah, we have made a film. We had a film crew joining us for 8 weeks.
On and off.
8 weeks on and off to all locations, and
you took dry throat week, didn't you?
Trying to get used to somebody putting a TV camera in your face and a boom mic above your head is not the easiest thing to do when you're trying to do a location and do a ghost hunt. But I enjoyed it. It was something different. Well,
it's funny you should say something like that, Derek, because I've been working for Global Ghost Hunt. It's over Brian Laverty runs it from Canada, and it's going to be 10 days of showing videos from all over the world, basically, from May and also to October, isn't it?
May and October, so there'll be 2 different dates.
Yeah. You can either go live, which will give you a set date for, or you can just download your video that you've made to the what you call, but there is a fee, obviously. And then it gets shown. It gets shown. I don't know where it's going to be shown. I have to read a bit more into that. Really good at plugging this, obviously. might be a Paraflix thing. It might not be. The Global Ghost Hunt. It might be just Global Ghost Hunt. But yeah, I'll send you the link, and you can have a little butchers at it and tell me what you think.
Yeah, please, yeah.
Please do. And also, Festival of the Unexplained. I'm going to say it. Have you heard of it? Will you be going? There's another one next year in September. I really want to go.
Do you want to go?
I want to go.
What's that for?
So,
just say it again.
the Festival of the Unexplained. It is
All right.
in Woodworth this year again, and they have all the psychic mediums from America, all over the UK. I think Danny Moss has been clarified to go. I'm really hoping that Rob Thompson's going to be there again because he was brilliant. But
Right.
it's just, yeah, I'll send you a link to that as well, and you can keep an eye.
Please. Yeah.
There's
Please
a
do,
whole
yeah.
weekend of like there's a party on a Saturday night. There's a ghost hunt. The Wave Chasers were there last year. There was so much going on. There's Dan Class was there.
Patty
Negri, yeah. Neil Story was there. So yeah, it's really interesting. It's a whole weekend of just paranormal fun. Yeah.
Right. Sounds good. Yes, that sounds good. That.
Would they like to come to our event next Saturday?
That sounds good. That.
Ooh. So you've got an event next Saturday. So do you sell tickets? Have you got a website or anything?
We've got an event. We've got an event next Saturday in Skegness at the village church farm a week today, and there'll be going off that night. I'll tell you what's happening. We're running it, so there's going to be mediumship. There's going to be ghost stuff. There's going to be equipment to use, SOS camera. Other bits of equipment that we've got to be used, show you how to use all that, go out in a ghost hunt, go with Chris, go with me in different teams, different locations. There's a scrying mirror that's going to be used, so we're going to use a scrying mirror and bring something through that. There's going to be Ouija boards. If people want to use Ouija board, that's going to be there. I'm trained for that, so I'll be doing that. That's there. There'll be human pendulum, that'll be getting done. There's a variety of stuff we've got lined up, including transfiguration that I can also do. So I can also bring a spirit into my body and let it take over me and show its face to you as it would if it's here, which is scary.
Yeah.
There's not many mediums can do it. There's not many can do it or dare do it. It's something I've always done. So I've always done it. I know how to do it. I'm safe when I do it. And that'll be done as well. And it's just takes like it's going to be a good night. Push away now. It's just going to be a good night, and yeah, there's a lot of things we've got lined up for that night. People that have been before that are coming to our event have messaged us and gone, "What we're doing that night?" So I've told them, and they've gone, "Oh, last time we went there, all we did was just walk round." Well, you're not walking around with me. You are going to be working, and you are going to be doing stuff, and we're going to get you to the using equipment. It's all about the people that have paid to come, not about us. We're going to be there to help, but the ghost is all about the people that have paid to come. They're going to be doing the ghost.
We split our teams as well, and we give them different locations. So we have like 3 locations. Say if we're in a
bigger location,
yeah, and then we use all the equipment and everything. What is your favourite bit of equipment, guys? What do you like using the most?
Oh, my favourite one has to be SOS camera. There's not many teams. There's not many teams now that use the proper one. We use that silly foam thing that's not real. As it is. We use the proper SOS camera. It's a proper one. We've had it now. We've had it for quite some time, and that shows the stick. It tracks a stickman figure. So as a human form, it will track a stickman as we are. But when it tracks something that's not there and it's waving at you and it's moving, that this machine can only track a human figure. If there's nothing there and it's tracking a human figure, what is it tracking?
We had that, didn't we, at Wimmering Manor?
Yeah.
So we had a really awesome night. Well, a couple of months back now, wasn't it? And took my SLS camera, and one of the other team members had a thermo camera. So Sarah was on one side of the room and I was on the other, so we could hear each other.
So, sorry.
And I had the stick figure come up on the SLS, which half the guests could see, and I was like, well, that looks like it's walking behind Sean. And the guests that were speaking to Sarah could see it on the thermal imaging camera at the same time and said, what's that walking behind Sean?
So it was coming up with equipment. It was amazing.
So that was wicked.
Yeah.
And that was just the start of the night. And
Yeah.
that night was amazing.
What about you, ladies? What was your favourite bit of equipment?
I would say mine's the EVP.
She always EVPs
And
Same here.
I'm pretty good at it and that. But I just like, from when asking questions to what you can actually get on the recorder. We went to some woods and I asked if anyone had been hung, and on the EVP we got like a branch, wasn't it?
Like a rope moving on.
Yeah, like a rope moving on a branch, like it was going to break.
Like it was creaking.
And that, so I've had some pretty good stuff, really.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably my favourite.
Kelly? What do you think?
Quite a few, actually. We've got REM pods, haven't we? That one's got the best one of them all. What Dad's got in his hand.
EMF pump.
The EMF pump.
EMF pump.
Yeah.
We've also got the new little REM
REM
pods,
pods.
which
Yeah.
actually...
Oh,
And you've all seen one of those, haven't you?
yeah.
Have you seen the new versions yet?
Is that the one that makes noise?
That one.
Yeah, there's one that makes a noise as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's got like thermal on it as well,
Oh.
isn't it? You can't- Yeah.
Oh.
That's the new version of that, and
Chris
that
likes
is
that,
actually
doesn't
quite
he,
good. Chris likes that.
Nice choice.
But yeah, we've got all sorts. So
It's flashing
we use Alice Box.
Lights.
We've got
Lights.
other apps on phone, but we just use one phone that's got all voice, all ghost box on them, all Alice boxes.
The rope lights are good.
Rope light's quite good. Yeah, we use rope light. That's quite good.
What about you, Chris? What are you into?
I'd probably say SLS camera as well, like Des,
Yeah.
because that obviously gives you proof that there's something. If you're feeling something or you're hearing something, and then it shows up on camera, even though it's only a stick figure, and like you can ask it to wave, or you can ask it to dance, or reach its hand out, its leg out, whichever. It gives you physical evidence
Yeah.
of what you're actually feeling or hearing. And when we've used that on. No, we didn't use it on the event, did we?
No,
In
Mill
public.
were quite good.
Yeah.
We did use
Oh,
it
quality.
SLS.
Yeah.
Were good.
Yeah, we have used it on many locations, and it's only not worked once, and we put that down to them playing around with the equipment, because quite a few equipment didn't work that night. But that to me is the best one, because I've never used an SLS camera before until joining Swift. So that's fascinating for me. I've seen it on TV, on your general channel, your ghost things you watch on telly. But to actually physically use it and see it for yourself, it's just amazing. It's a great piece of kit. It really is.
We're a great fan of letting them use all sorts of equipment, as well as Victorian methods. And you've got a fantastic bit of kit that goes well with table tipping. What is it? It's
The vibration box.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it lights up as well. We've actually had Spirit just tapping on it and letting the lights on when we're doing the table tipping at the same time.
Wow.
It's brilliant.
Well,
Yeah.
we talking SLS one. We went to a haunted quarry, and was rumoured to be what people can describe as a demon dog or a shapeshifter or whatever you want to call it, that is in that quarry. And we were with SOS camera one night, and we saw something on SOS camera. Brian saw it as well, and it was down on all fours like a dog.
Oh,
But it just changed, and it stood up on two legs as a proper human figure, and then went back onto all fours and disappeared.
jeez, that's great evidence. What are you, Brian? Brian, have you ever used because you're a tool in yourself, but have you used equipment and it clarified anything?
Well, I've been told that I can be a real tool.
No, God, that means it.
I did try not to laugh at that.
You're a tool in
I tried to hide the fact that you listened to it.
You know, you're banging these things in America as well. It means fun, doesn't it? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. You know I didn't mean it like that.
I just had to throw that out.
Oh, so sorry.
Well, then, myself, I've only ever used this two particular tools myself, and that part of my mediumship is I've used either a digital camera or an EVP recorder.
I
And
know.
I remember I was telling you that I went to Castelloma years ago. Well, there's an 800-foot tunnel that goes from the castle to the stables. Well, I was down in that tunnel and I was doing an EVP session. And after listening to it back, and that, like, there was no one else that I had done it except myself and my guide, and that I listened to it back, and I heard a lady's voice calling my name.
Oh, wow.
It was a Class A, and I still have it to this day.
Oh,
And that, and plus I took some photos from different graveyards in this area, and I got some really amazing photos of not so much orbs, but spirit mist, but they were in a really weird shape. And I sent them to different professionals to make sure that the camera hadn't, gone faulty or whatever. And they said, nope. They said, as far as we can tell, that photo is genuine, has been altered. And one person actually said in one of the photos, I could see a face in the mist.
wow.
And I thought, beautiful. So, you see, whenever I gather evidence, and whether BDP or camera or whatever, I always look for validation to make sure that it's not a camera glitch, or if it's not, what do you call it, pareidolia. And then, see, I'm doing research in all these scientific words. And they said, no, they said it's very interesting what you caught. And I said, well, I'm always getting other people's opinions on the stuff that I got. But that EVP that I got, and that to me is my prize trophy.
Oh, great to hear that.
And so yeah, EVPs to me is, in my opinion, the crown jewel, because and as long as you make a mark on the EVP as to where you are, what time, all that stuff, as long as you stamp it, and then they can't say, oh, it's fake, you just disguised your voice. How can I disguise my voice like that when all I said was, is anybody down here? But later I asked my guide who that lady was. And my guide told me, I guessed.
No.
And I go, okay. I didn't ask her name. But yeah, it was fantastic in that. But yeah, see, with me being on the other side of the pond, I'm kind of limited on what tools I have. So what I do get, heck. But whenever these guys get something on their equipment, I get more than excited.
What's your guys' thoughts on the old Ouija board then? Have you ever used them? Has anything ever happened on them for you?
Ouija board is actually quite. Hang on, we're just going to put charge on. We're losing a bit of power on this phone. Just hang on a sec.
No, we won't keep you too much longer.
Oh, Kelly's
Just
phone's,
bear with us a minute.
Kelly's phone's about to die. You're all right. Oh. Right. Ouija board. I like it. I like Ouija board. It's I got trained with Ouija board quite a long time ago. Also, one of our closest friends, which is Chris Conway. People that don't know Chris, he worked on Most Haunted after Derek left, and Chris was their psychic medium. Chris is a very, very close friend of me and Stephen Kelly's. He's really a close friend, isn't he, Chris? And he's helped me out in the past, and vice versa. And he actually got me to sort of do Ouija board properly and sort of work with it and whatever else. So I've been trained by, in my eyes, probably one of the better sort of mediums. Chris was around when Derek Crow was around, and Colin Fry and everybody else was doing around. Chris was around then. He's not around that much because he's out at the moment, but he's still out there. He's still in contact with us, and yeah, he helped me a great deal with what I'm doing spiritual now with psychic stuff. And the Ouija board, I just love it. I love it. I've actually got two now. I've got two Ouija boards, and I love them to bits. If they're used correctly and they're used safely, they are another tool from this life to the next. But you've got to give it respect. You can't go around mucking around with it and thinking you can use it and you can't use it.
Be
or
nasty with
be
spirit.
nasty with it. You've got to use it properly and use it safely. Do it like that and they'll work fantastically.
It's about respect as well in all aspects of the paranormal, isn't it? With the spirit.
It is, yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Have you ever had anything?
Don't you what starts
But you do get some that abuse it, and you get some that abuses the spirit and whatever else, and getting very angry. And there's some teams out there that are doing that, and I don't like it because end of the day you're going out there to sort of prove to your followers and your fans that there's something out there that you can't explain. And if you're going out there and you're swearing and you're cursing and you're calling spirit this and calling spirit that and calling spirit the other, then in my eyes you shouldn't be doing what you're doing because you're not being respectful to people that have passed over. And we should be giving them respect and not treating them like you are doing.
Yeah, we always prep to our guests about that as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
that's just the way that I am. That's the way I like to do. But I know there's teams out there that fortify stuff and lie about stuff and claim this and claim that, and we don't. If we go to a location and we're not getting nothing, we will say we aren't getting no. We'll move to another location and try again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't stay in that location and go, oh, we're now getting this or getting that and try and lie about it. We don't do that. If I start lying to my fans that are out there, they'll soon leave my page and go away and not bother. And I haven't worked this hard to build up this team to fake stuff and be disrespectful to people that passed over.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how we work.
That's how we
it?
work as well.
We'd rather, excuse the pun, a dead night than a fake night.
Yeah, nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Force them.
Want to read that one out? We've got a question from someone who's watching, Kate.
Yeah. So she says, can you use a Ouija board on your own?
I wouldn't advise it.
I wouldn't advise it neither.
Kate.
I'd be really, really careful on your own because, we do it as a team. I wouldn't, even with my experience with one, I wouldn't use it on my own. I'd at least have one more person or at least two more people there just in case. But I wouldn't attempt, because if all does come through, and the end of the day, you're opening the doorway from this world to the next via a Ouija board. And if something comes through there that you're not aware of or something happens,
you're not
then the only way to close a bad Ouija board down is to set fire to it. You've got to close. You've got to destroy it. That is the only way. You can't just put it away and hope for the best because it's still open.
Yeah.
You've got to physically get rid of that Ouija board.
Yeah.
The best way of doing it is to set fire to it and say a prayer and burn it and destroy whatever is there to come through. That is the only way you can really do it. But said, it's just being respectful to them.
Yeah. Do you want to read this one?
Yeah. So Dan, our big bearded boss man, has said, any recommendations for your local area?
Depends where he calls local area. Depends where we call local. Local to us in Barnsley, we have got several locations where we are, and we've got a wood which is called Wunwell Woods, which goes back to witchcraft and paganism and people killing themselves right up to present day, hanging in trees and that sort of thing. It's a very, very haunted area. It's well known in our area. We've got a place called Lock Park in Barnsley. That is another very, very haunted park. Things have been seen in there, shadow figures, other things. We've also got an old railway tunnel, which is called Fergland Tunnel, that is another haunted location. We've been there several times. We've caught figures walking down, bouncing on cameras. Look like a lady bringing food down to feed the railway men is building the railway. The bridge just next door to the tunnel, the viaduct. A young lad got crushed by a falling block that hit him on the head and it killed him. And there's a plaque underneath that tells you what happened. Let me see. We've got church. We've got an old churchyard that is heavily haunted. That's in Barntown Centre. Something else. There's so many around where I live. It's hard to list them all. There's Wallsend Cemetery in Sheffield, another haunted location. There's the tool works that we go to in Sheffield, another haunted location. There's so many to list. It depends what sort of location we're looking for and what we want to do.
In Barnsley.
Yeah, there's quite a lot.
Yeah, we definitely have to come up, and you can come down here.
Yeah,
We could do with some more investigators, can't we?
I'm not, don't just have a scratch, all right. I'm banging it in here.
Have it.
Keep doing this, all right. Have we done? Finished?
What about you, Brian? Whereabouts in Canada would you say is the best place to investigate?
To tell you the truth, I'd always go down to Castlelome or a few other places down in Toronto, which is the capital city of Ontario. Go to, right here, Mississauga is good. And then we got quite a few restaurants here that go back a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
And there's one place that goes back to the late 1700s, early 1800s, and I'm not even sure if it's still open or not. It was called the Cherry Hill House Restaurant, and the last time I went there was before enough, so I don't know what's going on. But I just happened to notice a question down there. Have you ever sent a trapped spirit over? Spirit children, yes. And by the way, Sarah or Joe, there's someone here that keeps biting with her name, and it begins with an M, okay? And that I'm getting the name. It sounds like Martha, or could be Mary. It's an M-sounding name. It's a female, and so just a name keeps popping in my head. I thought, okay, I'll tell them.
Martha. Yeah,
Martha.
Mary is my mother's name.
And but it's an M name. It just sounds like Martha, but all I was really getting is just a letter M. They're very, very strong-willed. And so I can't hold them back.
Oh no, just say it, and you can message us after if you pick up anything else. We really appreciate that. Well,
I'll tell you what, if any more comes through, I'll send you a quick message of what I get, or I can video call you.
Oh, thank you, Brian. That's lovely. Well, we've had a lot of your time now, but we're going to ask you one final question each, and if you'd answer it, we'd love it. So, what was it going to say? The best, if you could go anywhere in the world, guys, where would you love to investigate? So, Brian,
America.
I can answer that straight away. I can answer that straight away for you. And Steph will vouch for this. If I had the money and I could go, the place that I would want to go and investigate would be Gettysburg in America, the scene of the most horrific battle of the Civil War, where more people got killed and got blown up and everything else. It's supposed to be a really, really, really haunted place, and that is one place I would love to go if I could go anywhere in the world. Is Gettysburg.
Well, you got your camper van. You could do a tour, couldn't you?
Exactly what I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, anywhere in America.
Yeah.
The places where the old asylums, even though they're run down, they're still preserved. Nobody goes in and smashes them up. You can basically just walk straight in through the front door. There's no security or anything like that. And the history behind the places is just amazing. So for me, it's just anywhere in America in general.
Alcatraz or somewhere like that.
Yeah. Can you imagine going there? Yeah.
Imagine that.
If I tell you what, if you go, give me a shout. I'll be right there.
Yeah, we'll whip you on the PTT American tour when we finally do it.
Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah, I'm up for that. Yeah.
Oh. Ladies, where would you
I'd
go?
probably say America. Yeah. So
Definitely Gettysburg, yeah.
Scoot camera on to mum and dad.
Hang on.
So much.
Hang on. Good check camera around to the other boss. There she is.
Hi guys.
Hi,
I'm in background. Don't think about me.
you're the camera lady.
Over there.
I'm just
boss.
by the way.
No.
The most important
to meet
person.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Oh dear.
But yeah.
I don't get out much, do I, guys? Because obviously we're fibro.
Yeah. No. As
Kelly,
a team, we've really enjoyed this tonight. It's going to change for us.
Oh, it's been great. It's been lovely having you, honestly.
It's been really
Yeah,
good.
and that's what we want to do. We want to form connections. We've got some at Scotland, haven't we? We've got Scott Matheson.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd like to talk to you guys,
That's the place
actually.
Oh,
we'd
yeah,
like to go
yeah.
to Scotland.
Yeah.
And Ireland, we'd
Can-
like to go over to Ireland.
Can I just end this and just say one thing to you two and your team?
Yeah.
If you ever want to come up to our end and meet up, we will take you to some good locations and show you what's what within this area.
We might be onto a winner there. Because we have to pay for locations as well. So if there's something that you
No,
think
we don't pay for ours.
We don't pay for it. So we've got a paid location on Saturday, which is in Skegness, that I'm looking right forward to.
You're more than welcome to come to that free of charge, of
I'm
course.
really looking forward
it's a
to
bit
that.
far for us to come, unfortunately. We're down south. It's like a 6-hour drive. But next time we're up there,
anytime you
look you up,
guys sort of
definitely.
up this sort of way and you want to meet up and
Or if you're at Driftfield.
show you a location and take you on one of our places, then we'd love to take you out and show you what's around this area.
We'll
No,
definitely hook
yeah.
up and swap locations
Yeah.
and stuff, because there's plenty of stuff down here as well for
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
We'll have a conversation about that, I think. I mean, yeah, that'd be great. And you guys would come with us as well. If we actually book a location up there, it'll be great, because then we can sell tickets to the event and we can all sort of get in on it. Because you know, if it's somewhere that you think would be worth going, definitely we could do that.
Fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
For some location, we can get busted.
Yeah, we definitely have to do that. Definitely.
We'll do it properly. Yeah.
Yes, if you get another location, we're more than likely to join,
Yeah.
aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Just give us a bell or send you our website and you can have a butcher's, have a look, see what you fancy. I think we've got Margam Castle, haven't we, at some point? That's Wales, though.
yeah.
You guys have done a bit of
Yeah.
Wales.
Yeah, and please, if you jump onto our page, any of your guys that are watching, jump onto Scoot's page and say we are out tonight. We have a bit of location tonight. Jump on, get involved, have a look, see us at work, see what you think, and
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And Brian, you coming over to the UK anytime soon?
Yes.
Oh, I wish I could come to the UK. I would have to love it.
me and Brian. Well, me and Steph and Brian and Beth, that's Brian's wife, have got a little bet on to see which one of us is going to meet up first and where. Either we're going to go to Canada or he's going to come to the UK, and we sort of who's going to get there first.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, because we're all family.
You need to drop some of them T's
Yeah.
a little bit more, and you might sound like you're from Yorkshire then.
You'll have to send them a start over.
I can tell you, I can get some lessons.
Brian, they have to send you a Yorkshire tart over from Couplands.
Well, that sounds good. I have one question for you, Sarah. And have you ever heard of the Hollywood Forever Cemetery in California?
No.
That place, they got thousands of interments there. That's one place I would love to go to, because apparently there's been many ghost sightings in that cemetery over the past, say, 50 or 60 years.
Jeez.
It's called the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and it's got some very famous names in there. And that's one place. That, and as Derek said, Gettysburg.
Gettysburg. That's your dream location, is it?
Oh, I would love to go there.
Ah,
Oh,
fantastic. Well, it's been great talking to you guys. Thank
Bless
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Southwest Yorkshire Paranormal Team. Make sure you
Thank
check
you
them
for
out,
that.
guys. Thank you very much. And thank you,
Appreciate it.
Ryan, as well, all the way from Canada for joining us. And guys, if you want to go on one of our locations, we are www.portalstotheparanormal.co.uk. We've got a few at the bottom here. We've got Oxford Castle Prison sleepover on the 24th of September. We're also going to Manor Farm. If you like a farm, a 16th century farm, then this one's for you. It's really
That's a really amazing
great
one, that
activity there. Yeah, any more?
I think I can't remember many more, to be honest.
Well done.
Have a look. Oh yeah, was it Cold Harbour Mill?
Oh, that's a new one, isn't it?
We
New
haven't been to that
location
one.
that's been
Have no
added.
clue what's going on there. And the Haunted Antiques Research Centre. Guys, if you get a chance, I'll send you the link. And it's you can like organise a sleepover there if you get a big bunch of you. And there's some stuff in there that is proper freaky. Don't touch the statue that is encased. Don't touch that, because we nearly had a car. My husband decided to touch the booby, and then we nearly died. Yeah, there's a statue in it. Don't touch it. And there's also got
Statue.
So far.
just note to self there. Yeah, Haunted Antiques Research Centre. Brilliant. You guys got to go. So we're going to love you and leave you now.
Thank you for that. Yeah, it's been fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been awesome. Hopefully we've
Yeah, well,
established good
Bye.
relationships.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.